Hey Rangers, today we're going to be talking about the crossover with all the DC shows called Crisis on Earth X. Oh my god, this is such a cool and amazing crossover, possibly the best one. Now, before we get into it, if you're finding me for the first time, click on the subscribe button, hit that bell button too, and you'll be notified of all future videos that are going on, and there's going to be a lot, and oh my god, we have so much to talk about right now that I'm going to be jumping straight into the review. So this is going to be for parts 1 and 2, and then the next video 3 and 4. So let's begin. We open up on a facility where everyone is talking about a project. We have then the evil Ollie comes in and kills everybody really quickly, and then Guardian jumps in. Guardian tries to take down Ollie, but in the end gets killed off. One thing I will mention, all the music in these crossovers, oh my god, was absolutely spot on, and I really liked it. It worked well when evil Ollie was walking to the portal, and then suddenly when we come into the different scenes, it works so well. So everyone has kind of yay and nay replied, and they're kind of asking, have they or haven't they? First of all, we've got Barry versus King Shark. Then we switch to Ollie defeating ninjas. Then we switch to the Legends fighting people from Robin Hood in medieval England. And then we switch to Supergirl, who's defeating a Dominator. And one of my favorite lines saying oh, Dominators, they're so last year. We then have Alex and Kara going to Earth 1 after they're having kind of a chat about the bad stuff that's going on. And then when they kind of go through the portal, then we have the portal opening up on kind of a really new scene where everybody is going. The Wave Rider has landed and cloaked. We see Ollie on his motorcycle. And then we have Kara and Alex flying out of the portal heading towards the destination. We kind of have this quick segment of all the girls talking about what's happening with Mon-El, with the way that Felicity and Ollie, are they going to get married, etc, etc. We then switch to Star Labs, where Cisco and Wells have created a formula to trick the Firestorm Matrix in believing that Jefferson and Stein are completely joined together still when they're not, so they're able to kind of go their separate ways. Jefferson's not too sure about this, and he's kind of really unhappy. We then switch to a scene with Caitlin and Stein, and they're all talking about the good old days, what's happened, what Stein's going to do straight after, and this response is really cool on what he's going to be teaching his grandson, and I kind of thought, aww. Aww. We then come to the party where Alex and Sarah are kind of chatting about what's happened to Alex. We then have Barry talking to Kara saying what's gone on, why is Mon-El not there? And she kind of relates and says, hey, this has happened. And Barry's like, yep, done that, been there, got the t-shirt. When she drops the bomb at the end, he's like, oh, yeah, I haven't done that. He then asks her, would you actually sing at the wedding? Because, you have an amazing voice, and that refers back to the musical episode, and she agrees. So just before Joe's speech, I think, Oliver turns around and says, hey, guess what? I want to marry you, Felicity. And Felicity just goes, I am not marrying you. And everyone's like, okay. We then now come to the next scene where it's the day after. Alex has turned around and seen Sarah in bed, and she's like, oop, I made a mistake. What am I doing? And it moves on. And then we've got Kara floating, and this is when Felicity's kind of reflecting on what's happened with her and Ollie, and she just looks at Kara and goes, man, wish I could float like that, or I could fly. Now, we've seen Mick in this quite a bit, and I have to admit, he's one of my favorite characters. I really like the fact that when he got seated next to cops. They don't recognize him at first. I don't think they actually do. But this means that everybody comes in and they're all ready to go. Now, there's a waitress that comes up to Barry, and she's like, oh, I'm really excited. And at first you think, okay, maybe there's some sort of chit chat. Maybe this is something completely different. But you kind of think, oh, is she going to say, I love you type thing, or, I've seen you, or I know who you are? This could actually be one of the Wonder Twins, which would be one of Barry and Iris's kids. And you kind of think, oh, it just seems really weird that she says this. So if the CW are actually writing this now, I reckon possibly either maybe in the next episode, which is the finale, or much later on at the end, we're going to see Barry and Iris's kids. Oh, it'd be so cool. But I really love this sort of planning that they're doing. Kara is singing in front of everybody the song that Barry sang to Iris, which was quite nice. I really like Kara singing it more than Barry, but it was a nice little touch, a nice little throwback to the musical episode. So as we come to the ceremony, the priest turns around and says, oh, would anyone interrupt now or forever hold their peace? And gets killed by Overgirl, and Nazis just come. Everybody turns around and they say that they hate Nazis, and a huge, massive fight starts off. We have Overgirl versus Supergirl. They're flying in the air, attacking, punching, shooting lasers at each other. We have Ollie going against his counterpart. We see that Barry just zips around, kind of knocking people out. We see Wally doing the same. We see the team up between Heatwave, which is Mick, and Killer Frost, and he's like, hot. Oh my god, this was just a huge, massive like brawl, and it was so good. One thing that I really did like is when Ollie turns around and goes, Cisco, get me up there, create a breach. And he just goes, done. And Ollie just jumps in and flies out. I was like, this has possibly got to be one of the best things I've seen on TV for a long time. As Kara does a Hulk smash type thing and creates a massive shockwave knocking her back, everybody, including the Nazis, they kind of run away. Now, they've captured Prometheus, which is going to be a big kind of reveal, which I thought, oh boy. One thing I did like is just before that, you had a face reveal of everyone. So we know obviously it's Ollie. We know it was Earth X version of Supergirl. And then we've got the reverse Flash from Earth 1. But I just really love the fact that they're talking. They're like, yeah, we're going to take over, we're going to rule, etc., etc. Everyone puts Prometheus into the pipeline, and then he reveals himself to be Tommy. And obviously he died in season 1, and Ollie is shocked. And it's like, oh my god. So this is his way of talking and saying, hey, you know, my Tommy died here, you know, he's my best friend, well, you know, I would die for him. And this is when Tommy says, yeah, I would die for my version of Ollie as well. And at that moment, when Tommy turns around and goes, you know, you're such a fool, you know, how dare you, you know, you're going to die. You know, everyone is so soft here. You don't have that iron heart. You don't have that iron will to do anything. So you're all going to perish, and that's going to be it. Another favorite part, I've got to admit, I think this line was used the best. The line he says just won it for me, and it says, super speed. I don't have it. And everyone's like, yeah, realizing. And I just thought this was really kind of funny because it was one of those like serious tense moments that was just broken by comedy. We have the Earth X bad guys versus our good guys from our universe, and they start fighting. They get kind of defeated a little bit, and then later on we go to this huge massive warehouse where loads of people are fighting. And this is kind of interesting because rather than it being over quite quickly, this fight scene lasts a long time, and then all of a sudden, when the good guys get defeated, we then have Overgirl's origin, which is pretty much very similar to Red Sun, as well as throwing a little bit of All-Star Superman in there. We find out that Overgirl has absorbed too much solar radiation, and the fact is that she's dying. You know, she needs a new heart, and the only person that she can have it from is Supergirl. With everyone being captured, it then switches to Star Labs, where pretty much the Nazis are throwing every single good guy into the pipeline to kind of keep them there. Iris and Felicity kind of dodge, and they're kind of hiding out. Ollie, Sarah, Stein, Jefferson, Barry, and Alex, I hope I got everybody, are now on Earth X in the concentration camp, and oh my god, when you look at it, it's like, oh, that's a lot there. So Rangers, what did you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you not? What were your thoughts? Did you have any gripes against it? Let me know. Just tell me. Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the other videos on the channel. If you want to help support the channel on Patreon, link will be in the description down below. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.